Hello, and welcome to the Gaia update for the full moon in Cancer that's happening on January 1st, 2018. Happy New Year. I'm Adrienne Elise. What a powerful message on the first day of this new year of 2018 to have a full moon in Cancer. The energy of 2018 has a lot to do with balancing the scales and building new structures that are more fair. Saturn home in Capricorn, Capricorn has a lot of energy about integrity and equality and doing what's bringing our world into more of a balance. And so Saturn is the work duty, karma duty, and home in Capricorn, it's about getting to work and grounding out and coming home. Now with Uranus moving into Taurus in May of 2018, this is like coming in for a landing with these big planets moving into Earth signs for a long time. And so with this, what the energy right now of this winter and spring of 2018 is about coming in for a landing. This is you coming home to represent yourself with integrity, to be who you really are, and to claim back your spiritual autonomy. So this is what needs to happen in the world as well, in our structures, that Pluto in Capricorn. Whenever we talk about Capricorn, we have to talk about Pluto in Capricorn. And so this energy is around breaking down and building and transforming the structures of our life, the authorities of our life, where we give our power away to. And so there's a huge energy on the planet of taking back our spiritual autonomy and taking back where we've given our power away. Now, where have we given our power away? Usually when we are trying to get our basic needs met. So this is an interesting energy in the axis of the Cancer-Capricorn axis, and a full moon in Cancer, very emotional, very spiritual, very sensitive energy. And so that's how we're heading into this new year. But this new year of getting down to the energy of what needs to happen in our world so that we can move forward, the breakdown of these structures that are authoritarian, that are not fair, they're not serving everyone, and they're most of all not nurturing. So basically this full moon in Cancer around nurturing and shining the light on where we have not been nurturing the earth, where we have not been allowing the earth to nurture us, where we have not been nurturing our children and the people on the planet who are hungry and suffering. And so this is an important energy that the universe is speaking to us right now on this New Year's Day. It's saying this is the way forward. We've got to learn how to take care of each other. Now, how do you do this in your own life? Because we could wait a while for the world to catch up with this idea, huh? And so it's really important and a powerful energy around this new year to claim some self-care to a new level that you have not allowed for yourself before. Claim the nurturing that you need. Maybe it's time and space. Maybe it's exercise. Maybe it's nature. Maybe it's pampering. Maybe it's healthy food. What do you need to thrive? This is where you claim that. So the Sun and Venus are close together for most of January and really powerful there in Capricorn, amplifying this Capricorn energy. So the moon and the Sun and Venus are there together for this full moon. So the Sun and Venus together opposing that moon in Cancer. And it's interesting because it's like the water and the earth are feminine signs, and our identity, the Sun is our identity, and Venus is the feminine side of ourselves, what we really care about, what really matters to us, what's beautiful, what's sacred, community, love. And so our identity, it's kind of like we're having a remake and a revolution, especially with that Uranus moving into Taurus, around our value system. Okay, so it's almost like we want to change the structures of this world. We know we need to change the structures of this world: healthcare, school systems, education systems, and financial systems and government systems. It's corrupt and broken and going completely the wrong direction. And what is it we need to bring into it? We need to bring in the feminine, and we need to have this revolution about in our value system about what really matters to us. Because if we're living in a physical world and that's all there is, fine. Pile up all the physical items and who cares who you affect as you're doing that. But in a world where we're nurturing each other and we're caring about the vibrations, the emotional vibrations of the planet, then we have to start looking at our identity and our value system in regard to the feminine, in regard to the softer side, where we want to care for each other and express our deepest truths and be valued for who we really are, and also valuing our intuitive emotional side. So everything is pointing to this, and 2018 is a year of female empowerment. Indeed, it was when Saturn was in Capricorn that women got the vote. So we're looking at the structures that we're trying to break down and build have to do with more equality on the planet, more integrity, getting the right people in charge. And so this is a big energy that we're moving into in 2020 when Saturn, Jupiter, and Pluto all come together for a conjunction. And this is the changing of the guard. This is our authoritarian structure energy just completely being broken down, reimagined, and reinvented. And as soon as Saturn moved into Capricorn in December, we started feeling this energy, and this energy of coming home, of human beings and coming home to Earth, being completely present and available for what's happening right now. So this is the medicine of our time, is that we're coming in for a landing. And if you can allow yourself to ground, if you can allow yourself to be present, especially with all this water energy, trying to move our emotions, trying to move old stuck emotions, trying to move the shadow parts of ourselves, with Mars coming into a conjunction with Jupiter right after this full moon. And so all of this water energy is saying, we got to feel this stuff. We got to move through it. We got to let go of the past. We've got to release and move on and have our death process. And the only way you can do that is become present in the moment and stop running from these big, scary feelings. So it's kind of nice because Mars and Jupiter, we start feeling the conjunction of Mars and Jupiter in Scorpio on the 2nd, the day after this full moon. And so it's a powerful energy here because Mars is a ruler of Scorpio, and coming up with Jupiter in Scorpio, it's activating that Jupiter in Scorpio to a massive degree. And this is bringing this energy to this water, to this exploration of the shadow, of this transformation, this death and rebirth. It's kind of like we don't have a choice. We've got to land and ground, and we've got to face our emotions in order to do that and to let them go and move. A lot of times when we start to uncover suppressed emotions, we're going to find our ancestors' emotions, we're going to find collective emotions, we're going to find our old boyfriend or girlfriend's emotions, and it's really intense. And it's easier just to keep up, to keep distracting ourselves with technology and all that. But the most powerful use of this time right now is to be 100%, as much as you can, present with your emotions. The stuff that's coming up is really important in what's holding you back from landing into the life you really want to live on planet Earth with all this Earth energy. Now, the thing about this Mars and Jupiter conjunction is that it's also squaring the nodes. So our North Node is in Leo, South Node in Aquarius. So in Scorpio this is a really powerful energy, especially coming up on the eclipse that happens at the end of January. There's another new moon in January there's another full moon in January that happens on the 31st, which is a lunar eclipse. And so we're completing this last 6 months eclipse period. And what makes the eclipses is when the moons line up with the nodes of the moon. And so the nodes of the moon are in Leo. And this is a powerful square. Square energy is around tension. And this is, and the nodes are about our future karma and how do we get where we're going. And so with the North Node in Leo, it's about expressing the truth of who we are. And we move forward on our path by being willing to express the truth of who we are. And so with this square of Mars and Jupiter, it's saying, hey, you have not been true to who you are. Do you even know who you are under all those suppressed emotions? Do you even know who you are underneath the mask of everything that you've been hiding from and shielding yourself from, of all this ancestral programming and experiences in this world? And so it's like the North Node is squaring up with Mars and Jupiter, is saying that our suppressed shadow is what's getting in the way of expressing the truth of who we are. And Mars wants, the Scorpio energy is about getting to the truth of it, wanting to find what really drives your passion in this life, getting underneath the junk so that you can have a feeling of living your life, like really living. And so these planets squaring the nodes is again speaking to us about what's in the way. So these emotions that are coming up are what's in the way, and that expressing your truth, bringing your light home to earth, grounding out with all of the resources you need to do what you're here to do, and to be present and supported and nurtured here. This is this energy of this Cancer full moon. We have an opportunity to be nurtured here on the planet, and we're going to do that through facing our shadow, clearing these emotions of the past. We're going to get equality within the male and the female within our being, allow for this intuitive, empathic side, this emotional side to be valued in our world, in our life. And we're also going to find that, empower the goddess within, so that we can come into our true expression of who we really are and build these new structures and work hard. That's the energy of Saturn and Capricorn. Sorry, my cat's going crazy. So Mars conjunct Jupiter is also sextile, coming up on a very potent aspect, a sextile with Pluto. And this is going to happen, flavor all of 2017. And the fact that Mars is there with Jupiter, activating Jupiter in Scorpio, and it's also activating the nodes, it's also activating that Pluto in Capricorn. And it's saying it's a harmonious aspect. It's saying that we got to break some stuff down. I mean, this stuff our world is not working for anybody right now. It's not even working for the elite anymore. And so it's like, but can we do it? We're activating a harmonious path towards this death and rebirth and transformation of the structures of our life. And so this Mars and Jupiter, we're going to be feeling that conjunction through the 11th. Very powerful day, as that's the day that Mercury also comes out of its shadow of retrograde. And this full moon and the full moon on the 31st lunar eclipse, both at 11 degrees. And so 11 is a really potent number. And so up until the 11th, this is kind of when we come out of this holiday haze, when we start to really move forward. And so Mercury comes out of its retrograde shadow on the 11th, comes up into its third conjunction with Saturn on the 13th, and really potent energy there. Mercury took that retrograde over where Saturn has been retrograding in this last year, and saying, what's this about? What is Saturn in Sagittarius about? What is it that we need to know about the seeking energy, the karma of our seeking beyond the veil, to understand, so that we can ground home, that we can bring that the work home to earth to build new. And so the other thing that's happening is that on the 7th, actually on the 3rd, this is 2 days after the full moon, Uranus goes direct. And Uranus is the awakener planet. And so when it goes direct, around the time it goes direct, we typically will really feel some kind of energy. It's our nervous system, it's electricity, it's awakener, it's revolution. And this means it's heading into that Taurus energy. The thing about this Uranus direct that's so potent is that all the planets are going to be direct until March, until the beginning of March. So this is full bore ahead. We have been waiting around for the right messages. We've been waiting around for the time to take action, and it doesn't quite feel that way. We're not going to feel that until this 11, January 11th, around there, when Mercury comes out of shadow and has that third conjunction with Saturn in Capricorn, bringing home that understanding of the last few years of Saturn and Sagittarius, and now we're ready for Saturn in Capricorn. And so Saturn, the thing about Saturn is it's work. It's like with Capricorn energy, it's about proving your worth through hard work. You have expertise because of the hours that you've spent doing whatever you've been doing. And Cancer on the other side is like, it's nurturing, and it's like we all deserve nurturing no matter how hard we work or what we do, because we just exist. We exist as humans, and so therefore there's no reason why this world can't nurture us. But see, this is where this Capricorn Cancer energy comes in, because it's like Capricorn says, no, did you prove yourself? Saturn says, did you prove yourself? Did you work hard? Did you follow the right path? And that's kind of the role of Saturn a lot of times in our chart. It's like making sure that we're on the right path before we catapult forward. And the Saturn coming home in Capricorn is going to be a huge energy for a lot of people who have been seeking and learning and growing and doing all these things, but they're not sure what their path is here on the planet. It's time to land home. So everything right now for you people, everything is about coming in for a landing. And what is in the way? It's a bumpy landing if you're coming home and there's a whole bunch of repressed energies that have not been addressed from past lives or from your ancestral belief systems. And so that needs to be reconciled. And we have that beautiful Mars and Jupiter in Scorpio together, helping us to reconcile these past shadows. And then it is forward motion. And so for the second part of January through the beginning of March, it's like time to take some steps on this new path. You've been kind of putting your feet in the water. You've been trying it out. You've been learning all these things. You've been thinking about it. And now it's time to make it real. And so the medicine that really helps all the Capricorn energy is hard work. And the thing is that if you're following your true path, this is part of the mystery of Saturn, is that like Saturn wants to adjust you onto your true path. And so if you're not on your true path, then the work feels like work. If you're on your true path, the work doesn't feel like work. It actually feels satisfying and good, and like you're finally getting somewhere. So grab a hold of this feeling, whatever brings you that feeling of finally getting somewhere. Just go ahead and get into the task at hand, get into the journey, get into this next chapter and get to work on it. And if you don't have anything you're working on that level, as far as new projects in any area of your life, start one. And also just projects that you've been putting on the back burner for a long time, like house projects, cleaning projects. Get that stuff done. Just keep busy. And that is the best way to work with this Capricorn energy that we're going to be feeling through the third week of January so strongly. So the thing about when Mercury, on the 7th, Mercury makes a trine with Uranus. Now Uranus has stationed, meaning that it is basically, getting ready to turn direct. So it's going to hang out at 24 degrees for a long time. And that means that this Mercury, it's direct now, is trining up with Uranus as it turns direct. So this is a beautiful energy. Trines are energies where they're really harmonious, but you have to go out there and grab them and take a hold of them. And so Mercury, our messenger, our understanding, coming out of this retrograde, coming out of this confusion, and trining up with Uranus, the awakener in Aries. It's like, whoa, okay, now I have a sense of what this last few years has been about. Now I have a sense of what it is I'm actually doing here. Now I have a sense and some information. So both Mercury and Uranus rule information. Uranus is like lightning, intuitive, information that kind of comes, synchronicities out of the blue, and Mercury is our mental everyday understanding. So really great energy to get in alignment with the truth of who we really are, that Uranus and Aries energy before it moves into Taurus, before we have this revolution in our value system, revolution in our physical earth. We are completing this period of time. So the next couple months is all about Uranus going forward in Aries and going into these last degrees of Aries into this completion energy. And so then we are in a place where we're going to be building these new world, these new structures of our lives based on the true truth of who we are. And that is being incredibly helped along. The universe could not send stronger messages and more synchronicities the way the planets are lining up right now. And it has been a power-packed time. So just know that all of December, this whole pretty much last 6 months since the last eclipse season, has been just like power-packed with incredible planetary aspects and a little bit overwhelming. Now, 2018 is way more grounded and way more water and earth, and so it's kind of like coming into the moment, coming into our emotions and releasing what we've been holding on to and grounding out in the earth plane. And so just know that you're coming in for a landing, and the landing is your true self coming home, the part of you that may have been cast aside, that feminine part of you, the part of you that all of us, male and female both, if you have an intuitive, empathic side, that is not valued by the society. And you got messages at a young age, especially in a boy body, that shit isn't cool, you know? And so we have been taught to suppress, to harden our heart, to get through things. And, you know, this full moon in Cancer on the first day of this year is saying, you know, that's not the way forward anymore. We don't get to be that North Node in Leo and express our light and our truth and our inspiration and our talents and our skills and be leaders in this world unless we can reconcile the part of ourselves that's been cast aside. And so this part of ourselves that's been cast aside, we learned from a very young age that it did not have value in this world, but now we're remaking those values. And the thing is that this is triggering a huge energy around soul retrieval. This Saturn in Capricorn and Uranus moving into Taurus is like, bring it home to planet Earth. Star seeds and indigo souls existing in multidimensional energies in different timelines and parts of themselves because of trauma of past lives and things that have happened, stuck in other dimensional frequencies and other timelines. And now it's time to bring all of those parts of yourself that have been cast aside home and to value on a deep level the truth of who you are. And coming back to that energy of this Cancer full moon, nurture. The energy of 2018 is nurture yourself into existence. Nurture yourself into a harmonious physical existence, because this is where we're at right now. This is where the work is happening. We have been off in the stars with the Saturn and Sagittarius, and that was fine. But now we have to bring what we learned home, and we have to start building these new structures. And so this is an exciting time for starting new careers and starting new paths. And I hope you'll consider the empowerment coaching. A lot of people who are interested in coaching are looking to see real life change that's on their path, that feeling of doing what it is they're here to do. And I'm here to help you do that through looking at astrology transits, past life contracts and belief systems that might be holding you back, and also visioning your life vision, getting in touch with what really matters to you and where you want to put your energy so you can make those decisions and make things happen and move forward, have that feeling of really being on your path. So I hope you'll consider empowerment coaching. I'm having a January and February special, 50% off a single session, and you can find out more information about that below. Well, thank you so much for joining me for this full moon video, and happy new year. And I hope you have a wonderful, smooth landing into this earth reality of 2018, this new reality ahead of us that we get to be a part of building and loving each other and bringing equality and bringing that disregarded, cast aside part of ourselves, our feminine part, the empathic part, home to be a part of making this a better world. So super exciting time for those of us who have been waiting around for the right time, and the timelines are coming together and the landing is happening. So just know that everything that's coming up right now is about you coming home to the truth of who you are and really being able to dig your feet into this earth realm and start to do some really fun work with your soul team, people coming together. Lots of energy for that this year, of people who have worked together in past lives coming together to work on projects. So I look forward to moving through this powerful year with you. And until next time, I'm Adrienne Elise. Namaste.